plus. I can't teach you any more about transitions, but as any trials rider knows, you can always go faster.
Now who's you? Better yet, who you supposed to be? Cause obviously you don't know you're dealing with a me. Go ahead. You a cold piece, yeah, go ahead. You a cold piece, yeah. Man, you cool as a moose. Somebody messed up and they letting the fool loose. Go ahead. You a cold piece, yeah, go ahead. You a cold piece, yeah. I know how you feel, like a pocket full of fresh pressed $100.
So far, you've been focusing on going fast and climbing into the air, so it's probably a good idea that we discuss landing in more detail. Normally, this isn't too difficult as you just make sure your wheels are underneath you, but there is one situation that requires more skill: uphill landings. This technique is very useful as you'll find increasingly difficult examples as you continue your journey. The key elements of this technique are rotating your bike to make sure you land correctly and then only using enough gas to steady yourself before moving on. The bike rotation is achieved by leaning from side to side, and your aim is to get your wheels to land at about the same time. Just as the bike meets the ramp, lean forward to get your body weight over the handlebars. This will help you get balance and grip. You'll want to press the gas hard enough to stop you rolling backwards, but gentle enough to avoid lifting your front wheel. This is a skill, and you'll need practice before it comes naturally. The most common mistakes riders make is to either accelerate too hard and flip backwards, or to lean too far forward, which will lift the rear wheel into the air. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. Speaking of that, if the rear wheel lifts, you've got no power. If this happens, tap the brake. This will bring the rear wheel down, and you can then use the gas to get back under control. The next track we've created will definitely test what we've covered, especially at the higher grades. Focus on the technique rather than going fast, and if you get stuck, you can always ask for help. Then, see if you can do it without me. think you've got it. If you can get a B, you should be able to get an A with a little more effort.
At this time, time will now take the form of the element H2O. The damn brakes let the river run wild. These scuba gears gonna get deep in here. 40 leagues under the sea and still diving. At the same time rising. I come clean in dirty water, right? I swim amongst the sharks, but he leaves the shark by. Through the murky waters and the sea, we, the psychedelic breeze. So, how deep can one man get? How deep can one flow go? How deep is down? I don't know, but I believe a tall building in a single bound. How deep can one man get? And how deep can one flow go? How deep is down? I don't know, but I can leap a tall building in a single bound. Can you fathom? Can you really fathom the depths of the sea? Kinda like the way I'm jamming. Catch a wave, can you ride the wave?
The bike you'll use here is more agile and has much better acceleration. But unless you know how to use it, you'll spend most of your time on the ground. This next lesson is focused on getting you familiar with the new bike's handling and to teach you one of the key riding techniques, the bunny hop. A bunny hop is where you'll use your body weight to make the bike jump over large gaps or up to higher ledges. The bunny hop is the most important technique to learn, so even if you've skipped over other lessons, pay attention to this one. To get an understanding of what's happening, consider that your rear suspension is a spring, and the more pressure you apply, the harder it bounces back. This release of pressure and shifting your body weight will make the bike jump. As you start accelerating, sit back on the bike and load the suspension to build up potential energy. Pay attention to the load on the rear suspension, and when it's at its maximum, release the pressure by leaning forward. The timing of these two movements is crucial to get right. Experiment with slight adjustments of the timing of each until you feel confident with the bunny hops you're performing. The final part of the bunny hop is designed to maximize the height of your jump. Lean back to load the suspension, lean forward to release the pressure, and then quickly lean back again. What you'll see is that this final step will lift the bike underneath you and ensure that the back wheel doesn't hit anything. The next track will test how well you've understood the bunny hop by making you clear bigger and bigger gaps. You won't get far unless you've understood this lesson, so take your time and let me know if you need any help. You do not want to skip the bunny hop lesson unless you've already mastered this.
How deep can one man? How